Peace and love. Welcome to my channel. Those of you that are new, Minister Dionne here. As you can see, I'm out in nature, as we all should be. And I'm going to be sharing a bit of my story for those of you so you can dive deeper with me. And today's topic is about your thoughts on religion. What are your thoughts on religion? I'm going to tell you mine. And I'm going to give you some homework to start with. I want you all to look into the history a bit. And I want you to look up the Johnston Act of 1954. It is where churches lost their freedom of speech, meaning to not speak freely about politics, about real life situations. But in a sense, they have given up their rights to share and be put in a sense of a curriculum. And curriculums follow guidelines. Who are those guidelines created by? And I want you to also look up maritime admiralty law. And I'm giving you multiple pieces of homework, and also look into the law of the land and the law of the sea. I could spend time unpacking all of that here, but I want you to invest in yourself and do that work. When you think of the law of the land, divine law, you think of all things being free from God, abundance, like nature is ours. We have a heart to love. There's no price on that. There's no price on, look at this beauty around me. There's no price on it. And we have been succumbed into a reality that has put prices on everything. And that's where the law of the sea and admiralty maritime law comes in. And yes, it applies to everybody. Once you start deep diving in it, you'll see. And many of you that know bits of me know that that is along the lines of what I have talked about on my Instagram at one point in time with status correction. But I want us to stay focused here. When it comes to religion, I will share that parts of me grew up with this idea of like always going to church, rituals. So religion is a ritual in itself. It is your beliefs compiled into a structure of guidelines and laws and rules to follow. And you have to ask yourself, and you have to do the deep soul work to find, is it moving you forward or is it keeping you in a pattern and cycle? That's very important. So growing up very religiously, meaning going to church, and not by choice. I was really going because I was told I have to, like I had to go. I really wasn't interested in going, to be honest, because I was looking at my life like, what is the point of this? You know, I'm hearing the pastors or whoever preach at the time that God is this, God is that, and this idea of the abundant life and reaching the promised land and different things of that nature. And something that I want to just go ahead and give you a golden key and ticket with is that we can sit here and tell all the stories all day, but if we do not even talk about our mind, missing out. Our mind is such a powerful tool that many of us don't talk about. We just keep filling our mind and bodies with stories, and a bunch of other crap. And in growing up, this story right here is important so that you can allow yourself to become free. I used to look around and wonder, like, why the lives of those that I was connected to was not matching up with this God that I believe was great within me. There was something that I was like, there's something missing, because most of us have to learn of a deity or some supreme being through someone else first. Like most of us are experiencing that through our parents or guardians. Someone's teaching it, bringing it to our awareness, and we're being reminded of it. It's already in your mind. We're just being reminded of that nature. And so those that were reminding me of this God, I was like, that ain't what I remember. So you know when something in you is saying like, this just ain't right, this just don't match up, it's not what I remember. And so my defiance and rebellion always came with a no, there has to be so much more. No, there has to be so much more. Now, my mom, love her very much. We were being beat over the head with a Bible. You want to read this Bible, you're going to go to church. But she was mean, y'all. She was mean. Y'all ever know anybody that is just so daggone mean and they go to church habitually? And it's like, what is this changing for you inwardly and outwardly? And that's the part. If you're not changing inwardly, shifting inwardly and outwardly, then you're not doing something right. You're going through the patterns, you're going through the emotions, you're going through the rituals, and nothing's changing. And this same thing applies to everything. It could be status correction, it could be you and your relationship. You have to be present in all of these things, in present to the point that you can evaluate and say, is this bringing me forward or bringing me back or keeping me same in the same spot stuck? And ask yourself where you really want to be. So I had to climb out of these different dimensions of barriers that I was in my life, where it was just keeping me stuck. And when I began to climb out of those things, and this is programming to the 100th degree. I was programmed into the idea of the only way that I can get closer to God, the only way that I can go to heaven is by trying to be perfect. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And by following all these certain rules and guidelines and all these different components that man makes up. Let me just tell you and jump right to it. Spirituality is key. In you, we all have been given the spirit of power, loved, and a sound mind. We all have a spirit within us. We all encompass and embody a soul within us that guides us. The thing is, in the programming that we've all experienced, we have not been taught that our intuition is our guide. We've been taught to follow the leader by somebody else outside of us, but everything we need is within. We've been taught that our power is outside of us. We've been taught that everything that we're looking for is an external thing, when in essence, everything that we need is rooted within our core. And we have all the curriculum outside of us, but what about tapping into that curriculum within? And this is where I have had to do a lot of soul searching and reprogramming within my body, mind, and soul, because I was caught up in the idea of religion. And I had to let that go. Some people say religion is realigning yourself. And this comes down to you literally questioning, why do you believe what you believe? And is it bringing you forward, keeping you stagnant, or bringing you back? And I switched from the idea of religion to spirituality because I know that I come from nature. Think of your body, think of ourselves. We're connected. We experience death, burial, and resurrection even within our body. We experience seasons of ourselves just like nature. And when you sit back and you put yourself as a part of nature, you're not separate from anything. And I believe that many of us constantly have experienced this separation or this constant climb to where that abundance is within ourselves. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about wholeness. We can all experience wholeness by taking time to ourselves. Something that the pastors aren't preaching, something that's not being taught, is that if you take the time to sit with yourself every day and meditate and ask the omnipotent creator within you to come forth and to be more present, it will happen. Many of us are praying a whole bunch of yeah. And I'm saying that because even prayer, the words have become useless because we don't know what we're doing. We're literally just going through this ritual of what we've been taught, but we never went into the place within ourselves to reteach ourselves what is true. And I had to do that with myself. And nothing's greater than the truth that you stand on. No one can shake that foundation. We are watching many of our ancestors, family members transitioning and hoping and wishing for some super savior to come out the sky. Can we keep it real, y'all? No one is coming to save you from the sky, okay? The savior is you. The savior is you. The savior is you. You are a God. You are a God. And you come from that Most High God. And I know that that may hit some of you like a sword. And I want you to do your research within. I want you to look within. You don't need to take my truth. You need to take your truth and live on that. And it took me a long time to get past this idea of like Jesus coming to save us. So like you will be waiting and hoping and wishing. I will have other videos where I'm really talking about the history of religion and where it even came from. We're going to get into Rome and the Vatican and all of that juiciness, okay? Because there is a known factor, and that is that if you were to know your power that you possess, we would all be coming together as a conscious collective and shut this shit down in ways that you have never even imagined. So the goal and the mission of some of these evil people is to keep you being powerless. It's like the idea and the seed are planted so that you won't know your power, you won't stand in your truth, you won't stand and be in your authentic self because you have been indoctrinated. And I was very much so indoctrinated in that. And I want to see you climb out of that indoctrination as I am and as I have. And it may not be easy, but I will tell you this. If you really sit back, and I'll go into this story really quickly. Think of 2020 when the pandemic happened, right? And the churches closed down. That should have been an eye-opener for a lot of us as to who they actually have. And I'm saying I'm talking about the pastors, some of the preachers, who they actually have their contracts with. I used to wonder why politicians, certain people that are looking to get elected would show up in the church and like, what is really going on? And I had to sit back and go through this research and look at things myself like, wow, this is another way that we have been, the lost sheep has been guided to go into these masses and situations and literally get caught up where we're not moving forward in life, and we go and we are just going through these rituals and not even realizing that we are being put in positions to make ourselves be held captive. And we're going through life missing the mark of the freedom that we could experience now in this time. Heaven on earth is in your mind. It is you reaching higher states of consciousness of this awareness. How aware do you want to be, or do you want to stay asleep? That's why it talks about that in the Bible. You want to stay asleep, oh sleeper? Many of us are not conscious, and I want to help you be awakened in your soul journey process to get you on the right path and to help your soul ascend to higher dimensions within yourself. And so there's going to be much more videos to come on this, unpacking my story and unpacking tools that you can apply to help you step into the fullness of spirituality, which is not easy for some of us because, again, we've been indoctrinated, we've been programmed to believe certain things, and this is going to really challenge some of your beliefs. And I just say, do the work. The life is created as an experiment. Life is created for us to go through this reality, either pushing forward, solving things of our past that we didn't, coming back into this realm to move light years ahead. So you could either stay stuck there, you can come back in this realm repeating it. But I know one thing, if you don't get this now, you're gonna miss it. And I trust that this has been an awakening for you to see and to reflect and to evaluate what is being said here. Because this can be a tough pill for us to swallow when we have been taught to just stay focused on religion and not spirituality. Our ancestors, way back before religion even came about, were always spiritual. I tell people, go watch Pocahontas as a part of your homework. We were always connected to nature. We always knew how to commune with the animals. We always knew when something was coming. Women were out here having babies without a hospital. But do you see, the more we give our power away, the more there is going to be a corporation to come and say, give me your money. Because we have chosen to outsource and not insource with our intuition that has value, that we can tap into and bring something out that will bring beauty and joy to the world in such a way that people can be transformed by that. But we have not even come to a place where we can fully do that because a lot of us have fears. And if 2020, when the pandemic happened, didn't teach us something, it should have taught us to awaken and to see, to stop. Do you know there's something so great to say, I'm putting a stop? There was some of y'all that have been working and never had a day off, but during that pandemic and COVID moment, it was that opportunity to show you, get the heck up out of your routine, doing the same things every single day, and to do something different. During that time, you should have done something different. It was an opportunity for many of us to become creators. It was an opportunity for many of us to step outside of our normal rituals, to create something new, because we all are creators, but we forget that we're creators simply because we have been programmed to believe that we are just worker bees, just to work for Tom, Dick, and Harry all of our life. And that's not the life. That's not the life, honey. And so I'm wishing you so much joy, so much awakening and fulfilled abundance within your spirit, and that this message finds you at a place where you know you needed to hear this. You know you needed to be reminded that there's so much more to life and that you are your savior. The world is so busy. And if you don't make a point to get out of that busyness, you'll be in the rat race forever. You'll come right back in this realm repeating the same exact things because you never took the time to smell the flowers. You never took the time to sit in nature and let the sun just fall on your face. You never took the time. Don't be so busy to the point that you would leave this earth realm and not take a chance to just breathe in the goodness around you. So there's much more to come. Thank you so much for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace and love.